Yo, 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 Big Catch back up in here. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop. We about to be, I got some catching up to do. Because I didn't know about DJ Khaled and Drake. They had a little beef going on. And you know I had to take a little couple days off for those strikes. And I just wanted to go over it with y'all. I didn't know anything about it. And we got Fantastic Hip Hop giving us a story I'm about to react to. I will leave a link in the description. Y'all know I like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Now, as this has been one of the worst weeks for Drake ever with everything going on in the music industry, it is no secret right now that Drake has never been more livid at the world, and with the hype around the Super Bowl and the outbursts that he has been having all throughout his new tour so far, it is very clear that Drake is only getting more angry at everything and during this all-time low that Drake is at. For the first time in a while, Drake has been not afraid to express his anger in full, because while when it's people like Kendrick Lamar or LeBron James even, he only sneak disses them because when he calls out someone like Kendrick directly, he has seen just how bad that has went for him. This time around, the person who has managed to anger Drake happens to be one of the few people in hip-hop and the entire music industry for that matter.
I hope he play that little dance Khaled be doing. That joint funny, boy.
That is even more pathetic than him. And now who I am of course talking about is none other than DJ Khaled. And now for Khaled, after trying to hype up his new album with the promise of 2 new Drake songs which Drake wasn't happy about at all, Khaled has now ended up canceling his new album as a whole directly because of what Drake has said to him.
So Khaled, okay, DJ Khaled deletes album announcement video after Drake denies involvement. So Drake didn't want to be involved in it? And Khaled deleted the whole album?
But now before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with Khaled and Drake. After a time in hip-hop where we saw the biggest beef ever, and from Kendrick to Drake and even other guys like Future, the lines in terms of where everyone stands in the genre have never been more divided and complicated, we are now seeing to the highest level just how far the effects are reaching of this beef, because now with DJ Khaled trying to release a new album, and of course, as Khaled can do nothing musically himself, his entire career and success relies on bringing together other rappers and artists to make these mega collaborations. Ultimately, with how bad the tensions are in rap, the release of Khaled's new album had to be cancelled nearly right after it was announced, because once again with DJ Khaled, he is managing to reach new lows and show just how pathetic and out of touch he is with everything but himself, because with Khaled's new album announcement, which featured a
Hey, Fantastic Hip Hop be dissing the shit out of people. He managed to reach the new low and be out of touch with everybody but himself.
Ridiculous trailer that was over 7 minutes long to roll it out. Khaled ended up creating so many problems in both the trailer itself and with the captions he followed it up with. Because for some strange reason, Khaled just thinks that he can be the force to bring everyone together in this time, because from mentioning Jeg and the Black album and maybe hinting at a feature from Hove, who has been on most Khaled albums in the past, to pretty much begging Rihanna for a feature, and then both in the ridiculously long caption and in the trailer saying he has 2 Drake records on this album, which he typed out to say that Drake is in the studio and back to work, so that means now that they are back together as well. All in all, with Khaled already teasing putting people together on this album who all themselves are not just—
Khaled is trying to make some money, man. Khaled can't put nobody together no more, man.
at odds. But in the case of people like Drake and Jay and Drake and Rihanna have some serious beef. The presentation and optics of all of this already looked so bad off rip. And now, especially because Khaled put this out into the world, and one of the biggest things he was hyping up is that him and Drake were going to be putting out new music, which again, he made it a priority to put both in the trailer and in all the captions. While before Drake was able to respond, his fans were excited about the fact that Drake was going to be working with someone who has some sort of a presence in the actual music industry, as this would be the first big artist to welcome back Drake after the downfall we have all seen. Before anything else could further materialize, Drake responded back to Khaled's over-the-top announcement by saying that the Drake that must be featured on this album is Drake Bell, because it's definitely not him, which I'm not gonna lie was honestly pretty funny on Drake's end, and while not him, it's definitely not.
I like what Drake, oh my gosh, this is, must be Drake.
not him, which I'm not gonna lie was honestly pretty funny on Drake's end. And while after Drake did this at first, people thought he may have been kidding or leaning into the idea that he has been kicked out of industry circles like Khaled's, which as we have seen on his most recent tour, he is leaning into despite the fact that this really isn't a joke and Drake has pretty much made everyone angry and done with him. No matter what people thought, very soon we quickly found out that Drake was not kidding and he was 100% serious about what he said, as Khaled ended up removing every single announcement and trailer he made about this new album, and as Khaled has went so silent and usually he is known for being loud and obnoxious.
Damn, mushroom top. But he had to put money into that, all that promotion, and then to take it down because Drake ain't want to be on it. Why he didn't just hire somebody else?
In the most annoying ways. It was made very clear that this is no longer part of the rollout, and now this record has either been straight up cancelled, or because of what Drake said, it is at least being delayed, as the two songs that Khaled was most excited about seemingly have been erased. And so now with all of this situation is just wild, because seemingly with Drake responding to Khaled's claims by saying it must not be him who is on this record, and we know that this is serious because again, it made Khaled take down the entire post and announcement. Virtually what Drake has done is tell Khaled that he will never work with him again, which has now managed to make nobody's favorite producer cancel his entire record that nobody ever asked for. And now when it comes to Drake doing this, it is
that nobody ever asked for. Ain't nobody asked for this shit. We don't want this shit.
Showing us at least that some lyrics from his diss tracks have aged kind of okay, because he did say that he was no longer going to be giving out features after this beef. And now no matter how wrong Drake may have been to people like Future and Metro, or Kendrick for that matter, and no matter how bad he lost at the end of everything, for a clout chaser and wave rider like DJ Khaled to now want to use Drake to hype your album up, and yet you were silent in the time where Drake could have used anyone with a presence in hip-hop, especially to help him out and support him, and of course, as we all saw, Khaled did nothing. Even in this time where Drake has never looked worse, with what we are currently seeing and what just happened, we are seeing that for every big loser like Drake, there is always a bigger one that will come around when we least expect it, like Khaled. Because with what he is doing here, from the fact that you think a Drake feature in 2025 is worth something, to the fact that you were using him to prop up your album after you did nothing in this time, where he just asked one person to help him out. No matter
Yeah, Khaled be, so the word is Khaled be using people. He don't rap, he really don't produce. I don't think he be making the beats like that. You know, like Havoc from Mobb Deep, one half of he actually sit there and make the beats. I don't think Khaled be making them beats. I think he get credit off other producers. He might tweak a hi-hat or something like that. A little snare, something like that, and then put himself on it. I think that's what P. Diddy do too. These boys. Hey, look.
Which angle you want to look at this from? To be so desperate for a Drake feature that you literally filmed a scene for your album trailer where you were talking about it, and then after Drake called you out, you canceled your entire album, as seemingly whatever desperate play you had to try and recruit Drake for this.
He had Drake about to lead the whole album. Because if you can't come out with your album because one person decide not to be on it, yeah. That's top-notch usury right there. That is top-notch usury.
This project did not work out as planned. Overall, this whole situation is reaching new levels of desperation, and in this time where Drake has been the biggest loser in rap, the fact that somebody in Khaled, of course, actually made him look like he has ground to stand on. I mean, for Khaled, this is just telling the world how washed you are and how even after everything in rap, from the sound to who you can work with together, has changed. The fact that you can't think of a single new thing to do and are still trying to get a hit from Drake, which even on your past albums before this beef, is something that has not worked out since the Major Key album with For Free, which was almost a decade ago. I mean, from every single way you can think about this situation possible, what was Khaled even expecting to get out of all of this? Because I mean, no matter how silent you try and stay and how you try to be friendly with everyone, from your connections or really past connections, because nobody wants to work with you at this point, with people like Jay, Rick Ross,
Hold
Rihanna.
on. Is this man rubbing his stomach on this guy's shoulders, bro? Look how he pumping his shoulders, bro.
Because nobody wants to work with you at this point, with people like Jay, Rick Ross, Rihanna.
Yo, bro, you gotta back up, bro. You gotta back up. your stomach poke out about 2 feet. He's pumping his shoulders, bro. Yo, get off my shoulders, man.
Because nobody wants to work with you at this point, with people like Jay, Rick Ross, Rihanna, to even Future, and then, of course, Drake. I mean, just from the optics, trying to use Drake and Rihanna.
Bro, you gotta get off my shoulders with all that. Yo, back your ass up, boy.
As the lead features off your album, I'm sure it just made both of them never want to work with you again, because in the entire landscape of music and hip-hop, there are just so many beefs that not all of these people are gonna want to run around together on your mid-album, especially in 2025. And if Drake is publicly saying that he is gonna have nothing to do with this record and now Khaled has canceled the whole thing, I mean, the fact that Khaled put this into an official release and trailer, did this mean that Khaled just lied about ever having Drake songs and thought that Drake was so desperate at this point to work with anybody that he would have just ran to his name? Or was Khaled sitting on tracks that he thought Drake would have just let him put out after not saying a single word in this time, where if you wanted to be Team Drake, you could have walked alongside people like Ak and Mal to become the biggest clowns in hip-hop, but you didn't. And I mean, either way you look at this situation from, at least you can say that Drake has finally found an equal match in this time where he has been leading the league in losses, because Khaled just embarrassed himself in every single way possible here, and is fully proving here that his time in the spotlight is over and that he is officially washed if you didn't think so already. Because to just shelve your album over the fact that Drake said he's not going to release 2 songs on it, I guess in the greater sense is putting into perspective for Khaled that the industry is not all happy making the same song over and over again while moving nothing forward like we saw on all of the other Khaled albums for years. And I mean, when you say that out loud and see what this really means, I guess it's a good thing that all this is happening for hip-hop and that Drake and Khaled are beefing, because for both of them, from Drake to Khaled, the energy these two bring to hip-hop at this point is just not needed, because in his own way, Khaled has been one of the biggest parts of all of the problems in
He should have got French Montana. They look alike.
Hip-hop during the Drake era, and really with all the forced industry friendships he has tried to push on each one of his albums and with all of his collabs, which just artistically did nothing to move anything forward as well. Overall, Khaled was such a big part of creating and pushing the culture in hip-hop, where it lost its competitive edge and all the rappers became friends, and of course the culture that Khaled kept pushing to find any success ended up pushing Kendrick to make rap more competitive than it has been in years with Like That in the first place. And so in this time where rap has moved past this awful era and competition is back and guys actually want to prove that they're better than one another, and even beyond this, while we once saw Khaled sadly get Grammy nominations for Best Rap Album in the past, which really just looking back on it.
Hold up. Best Rap. Oh, God's Plan. Yeah. So Khaled thing is that he grabs a bunch of rappers and put them all to, and he like, all he do is make announcements on his tracks. We the best. Oh, y'all gonna love this one. This the one right here, man. It was, hey, look, bro. Some of them songs be fire, though. I ain't gonna lie. Some of the songs be hot. They be dope. But he not rapping though.
Captured how sad of a place hip-hop was once in. We now have seen with the Grammys this year that this era is even over, and again, all because rap is pushing its creatives more than we have seen in a long time, and not the garbage stuff like Khaled and Drake were doing. Ultimately, what we are seeing in this time where Drake and Khaled are just embarrassing one another is that while Drake may be right to not help someone who didn't help him during rap's greatest beef and when he took the biggest L a rapper ever has, by Drake now not trying to push these same old garbage albums that do nothing to move anything forward, no matter what his intentions are for doing it. In a way, he is also pushing his own downfall further, because right before our own eyes, without Khaled, the entire Drake era of hip-hop is vanishing even further, because if Khaled and Drake are no longer on good terms and Drake isn't leading these pathetic excuses of albums forward with a lead single, well then hip-hop really is in a better place than it has been in years, because we can finally say that the era of the DJ Khaled album is over. And so now with all of that said, let me know. What do you think about this entire situation between Drake and Khaled, and who do you think is the bigger loser here? And are you going to miss hearing Drake and Khaled together? Because
Nah, man, let's leave that shit in the past. Hey, look, hip-hop is getting back to its essence, and I'm loving the way that Kendrick Lamar had ushered in this new age, introducing these youngins to how hip-hop is supposed to be. You know what I mean? We getting back to getting that album and writing down all the lyrics just so you can learn it. You know what I mean? Or they got Genius now, so you ain't got to do all that. But yeah, man, I love the way that hip hop is going right now. What y'all think? I'm gonna leave a link in the description for y'all to check this out. I just wanted to get updated on what's going on with Khaled. And it was some big old discussion about it, and I wasn't able to upload around that time. So yeah, there you have it. That's what's going on, man. Khaled is not able to use Drake. Drake ain't want nothing to do with him. Drake, I don't even think Drake want to do nothing with hip hop at all. He up there saying, yeah, hip hop is at a terrible place in that right now because he wasn't able to water it down. He had Aiden Ross talking about hip hop. He's talking about hip hop. And then he tried to check Aiden Ross talking about, oh, yeah, don't talk like that about it. But you said it first, Ninja. So imagine how many other people thinking, your glazers and all that thinking. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Big Kesh signing out. I'm going, y'all.